So we're back for part 2 of my yearly favorites. Naturally, as I always do, I end up uploading these at the beginning of the new year. So I'm basically taking us back to 2020 for this video, and I've already done part 1, which is my yearly skincare favorites. And this is part 2, where I talk about my yearly makeup favorites. So these are my most used makeup products for the year. There's a ton of products we're gonna go through, so I'll try to be brief and concise as possible. Now, before we get started, I wanna give a little shout out to my new YouTube channel, which is essentially my second channel. Over there, I'm doing more book-related content, as well as my folklore and fairy tale Fridays. So if you guys are into like any mythology, folklore, cryptids, anything in the spooky realm, I'm gonna be doing like storytelling / books over on that channel, as well as like general second channel stuff. I'm gonna leave the link down below. If you guys can head over there and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. But without much further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and start with the eye products. So let's go ahead and look at some eyebrow products I've been loving this year. Now, this year has definitely been the year of the brushed up brows, so I've been utilizing a good amount of brow gel, and the brow gel that I've loved for this year is from Maybelline, the Brow Fast Sculpt Mascara Gel. Now, I just use the clear shade because I don't like to add any additional color onto my eyebrows once I've filled them in. The one on this has longer bristles and also shorter bristles, so I have more control over where my eyebrow hairs are going, so I really like this. It's super affordable. Another eyebrow product I've loved is another drugstore favorite, which is NYX. This is the micro brow pencil. I use the shade Espresso. This I got sent in a PR package, and I actually demoed this on my live stream, and this was basically love at first sight. I mean, if you're looking for a micro brow pencil, this essentially ticks all the boxes for me, and the color range is excellent, so I'd recommend that. And then last but not least, we've got this from Peripera. This is the Speedy Eyebrow Auto Pencil. I've almost rubbed off all of the writing because I've used this so much. Now, I will say, the Etude House Brow Pencil is still one of my favorites, but I tried to force myself to try something different as far as eyebrow products go in the Korean realm of things. And this was the one that I liked the most because it is, again, concise, easy to use, color matches my eyebrows nicely. It's what I filled in my brows today, so it's more on the natural side of things. I'm extremely picky when it comes to my liquid eyeliners. I use liquid eyeliner every day, and I prefer them in the pen form. And because I like a really sharp and concise and dark cat eye pretty much every day, I'm picky. And so the one that I've absolutely loved is from Wakemake. This is the Any Proof Pen Eyeliner in black. I picked one of these up on a whim in Korea because I think it was on sale, or it was buy one, get one free. This is the inkiest, blackest liquid liner I think I've ever tried. So it's super long lasting, it doesn't budge, it doesn't rub off easily or like transfer. If you're looking for like a super inky, solid black pen liner, the one from Wakemake is excellent. I really liked a lot of Wakemake products actually in the year 2020. As far as mascaras go, I, again, am more of a drugstore girl when it comes to mascara. And the one that I really liked is actually new from Maybelline. This is the Lash Sensational Sky High Mascara. And I started using this towards the end of last year, pretty much as soon as it launched. And this has been my daily mascara. It's fantastic, does a great job at separating my lashes, gives me a semi-clumpy look without being overly clumpy. It's got a lot of versatility to it. If you like more separated lashes, you can definitely achieve it. If you like to build it up more, it's definitely a buildable mascara. Now, to talk about some eye color products, I've had a couple of standouts. Now, to go over some of these single eye products that I've enjoyed, the Appew Creamy Butter Shadow. This one is specifically in the shade Ginger Rose. It's so good. Not only is it super shiny and gorgeous on the lids, but it's really lightweight. So even though it's super pigmented, you don't feel like you have like a thick slick of color on your eyes, if that makes sense. And it's super lightweight. I want to pick up more of these. I'm having a hard time tracking some of these down, so I really hope Appew did not discontinue these, because if they did, then I'm going to be really disappointed because these are so good. Like I mentioned, I've been into some indie brands as far as eyeshadow palettes go, so I've got quite a few here, and 2020 was the year that I really experimented with color. Both of these brands are actually new to me in the year 2020, and they are knockout brands. The first brand is Kaleidos. They make such excellent makeup products in general. The packaging is super eye-catching, and the actual formulas themselves are really, really nice. Now, the reason that Kaleidos spoke to me was this palette specifically, the Escape Pod. And I was looking for really beautiful, like pastel, rainbowy color. You can make such fun looks with these eyeshadows, and the quality is really, really nice. And another little shout out, these are some of the more compact eyeshadow palettes that Kaleidos has. So you can get little eyeshadow palettes that are in a specific shade family as well. And these are really cool because if you can see how they open up, they're just so different. Like when you get a package of makeup from Kaleidos, even the way that they ship it on package it is like fun and unique. Another brand I've loved this year, which is another indie brand, is this brand called Nomad Cosmetics. Now, I was first introduced to Nomad through this palette specifically. This is the Harajuku palette, and I actually tried this live on stream, and again, this was one of those products, I tried it and immediately fell in love with it. Now again, we have amazing pastel colors here that are really nicely pigmented despite them being pastels, and you also have these gorgeous shimmery colors. These are so much fun to play with, and since they're duochrome, you can layer them, you can create a lot of different looks with these. They have such amazing shade selection, so you can get bright colors like this guy, which this is the Cartagena Magica, excuse me. And then we have the Orient Express here, which obviously is a little bit more toned down, a little bit more neutral, but I mean, you can't beat these. And I feel like for the quality, these are somewhat reasonably priced, and the packaging is amazing, quality is great. I'd highly recommend both of these brands if you're looking into picking up any eyeshadow palettes or some fun bright colors, or even, like I said, neutral palettes. Okay, I guess let's go ahead and move on to some face products. So let's just go ahead, I guess, and start off with primers. I got so many from each category because I really did a lot of playing around with makeup this past year. So I've got 4 face primers that I really like. Now, I have dry skin, so keep that in mind. I typically don't gravitate towards the really like silicone-y based makeup primers. I like something that gives my skin a little bit of a dew and glow underneath my makeup. And so some of the products that I really like that do that are these 2 here. Now, the first one's from Luna. This is Luna Pro Water Skin Primer. Like the name implies, this is basically like a watery based makeup primer. So it goes on your skin super smooth, creates a nice soft base. But for someone like me who's dry skin, it doesn't overly dry my skin out. It actually kind of camouflages some of the flakiness or dryness I might have on my skin. And I find the same effect with this one from Too Cool for School. This is the Watery Blur Primer Moisture. This one has a little bit more of a pore perfecting aspect to it because I find the formula of this is slightly thicker than the Luna Pro one. It's also a little bit more affordable because I'm not gonna lie, this Luna Pro one for the size you get is pretty pricey. But both of these are so good. Like when I'm looking for a super glowy look, my skin's feeling extra dry and parched, and I need to camouflage some of that dryness, I usually go for these 2. Now, as like a middle ground for maybe those you guys who have combination skin, I even think this might work on oily skin. So this works well on basically all skin types. This is from Unny Club. This is the Rose Veil Makeup Base. I'm really surprised I'm not hearing more people talk about Unny Club because they have some knockout makeup. A lot of their makeup is basically, to me, like pro makeup, and this is no exception. So this actually does have a lot of that pore blurring effect. It is heavily fragranced, I will say that. That's my only qualm with this, but it is just gorgeous on the skin. Again, it just creates such a smooth and soft canvas. If you have textural issues, this is thick enough where it would actually camouflage and cover a lot of those and make up for a lot of those imperfections. It really is unique. I've never tried any product that's like this. It's like a gel primer, basically. Now, if I'm looking for a super glow up and I'm trying to almost create like a soft glowy shimmery base in a sense, I'll opt for these products. So this first one is from Peach Seed. This is the Peach Glow Makeup Base. This is such a beautiful primer underneath makeup. You have to definitely apply something on top because again, this is one of those shimmery type bases. But what I really like about this is it does give your skin a little bit of moisture. So like I said, with my dry skin, it works really nicely, but it's not too overwhelming. And when I say shimmer, I'm not saying like glittery shimmer. It's really undetectable, if you can see that on the back of my hand. I really wish she would launch some other versions of this with other dimensional shimmers because I would gobble them up. And again, I will say for some reason it's heavily scented too. Along the same vein, I fell in love with these in 2020. These are the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I'm not gonna lie, when I was first picking these up, I didn't know what they were. I couldn't understand the purpose of them. She kind of makes them sound like a multi-purpose product, which I guess technically they are, but I've been using them as basically a base for my makeup. So I apply them all over my face, blend them out with a sponge or a makeup brush, and then apply foundation on top. But these just give you a gorgeous glow from within. She has a lot of different shades, but I have been working on a Charlotte Tilbury dupe video. I cannot find any product that is similar to these. Yeah, if you're trying to figure out how to get that glow from within, try one of these. Now, for face makeup itself, as far as like foundation or base makeup goes, I've been trying to go on more of the light side for 2020 because, again, since I've been wearing a mask a lot more frequently than I normally would, it just doesn't mix well with foundation. So if I want to have coverage on my skin, I'll offer something that's more of like a serum-y foundation. So the one that has been my absolute favorite is this one from Moonshot. This is the Face Perfection Serum Foundation. It does have SPF in it, 50 plus PA, triple plus, and this is gorgeous. It goes on like a dream. It gives you a little bit of coverage. It's like a light medium coverage. So unlike other like serum foundations where you basically put it on your skin and it disappears, I actually get a little bit of coverage with this, which I appreciate. It also does give you that glow, which is, I guess, my keyword for the year from 2020. It's lightweight. It lasts a long time. It's what I'm wearing on my skin today as well. If I do want to go for a full face of foundation, if I'm doing like filming or anything like that, I'll go for this, which is from the Face Shop. This is the Ink Lasting Foundation. This is the Slim Fix EX. I wear the shade V203 Natural Beige, which actually this has a pretty decent neutral undertone, so it matches my skin pretty nicely. This I picked up because I saw it was highly reviewed on the Glow Pick Award winners. Like, everyone seems to love this foundation, and I totally get why. It's pretty much the perfect foundation if you're into high coverage, you're into a soft finish that's not overly glowy but not overly matte. It's just kind of natural, and also something that's going to be long lasting, that's not going to be heavy on the skin. This is super good. I totally get it. Now, because I haven't been relying on foundation, I was more relying on concealers in 2020. I am going to do this one really quickly because I've talked about this one a lot. This is from Catrice Cosmetics, the Liquid Camoflage High Coverage Concealer. I can actually see in the tube, that's how much I've used this. This comes in so many shades, so you'll be able to find one that fits your skin tone very well. And I also like that this is super easy to blend out. It's lightweight. This is one of those versatile concealers that you can use under your eyes and it won't crease too heavily. And you can use it also on pimples or acne or dark spots. Whatever you're using to conceal, you can basically use this as like an overall touch-up, which is what I like to look for when it comes to my concealers. Like, I don't love having to switch from concealer consistencies when I'm trying to cover up different things on my face. And that applies to these other two concealers as well. The second one's from Luna, the Long Lasting Tip Concealer. Luna, to me, is similar to Wakemake and Unny Club, which has a lot of high performance makeup products at pretty reasonable pricing. Luna needs to have more recognition because they've got a lot of really good makeup products. And then last but not least, we have Wakemake, naturally. This one performs pretty similarly to the other two in the sense it does a nice job covering, lightweight, lasts long, but it also has SPF in it. So I do wear SPF obviously daily, but if I could get it in other products, I like to. I've got some powder products here that I have been enjoying. The first one is from a more high-end brand. This is from Hourglass. This is the Veil Translucent Setting Powder. I won't get into this too much because I'm sure you see this all over social media, and it kind of is for good reason because it really is that good. Especially on my dry skin, I'm very picky when it comes to powders because I do like to set underneath my eyes and around my smile lines, basically where my face tends to move so my makeup doesn't crease. And this sets it beautifully and doesn't dry out my skin. Another one that I've liked is from Eglips. Eglips. I always pronounce that wrong. And this is the Blur Powder Pack. This is the one that has color to it. So this is in shade 23. And I like this for under my eyes specifically because it's very finely milled, so you don't actually see where the powder goes. It just sets it so beautifully. And again, same thing, it doesn't emphasize my dryness, which is something I need when it comes to my powder. So this is the one I'll go for when I want like a compact powder. Setting mists. I don't know if I've ever had like a setting mist as one of my favorites, but this boy is one of my favorites. This is from So Natural Powder for Room, the All Day Tide Makeup Setting Fix. I again saw this was highly rated on the Glow Pick Awards, and I picked this up and I can absolutely see why. I mean, it goes on my skin flawlessly. It doesn't affect the makeup or disturb it. And I also like that this does actually make my makeup last longer. It is heavily scented again, which I haven't noticed with the Urban Decay setting spray, which is another one that I'll use, but I like how this performs better on my skin. I just want to point that out, but if you're looking for a good setting mist, this is good and also highly reviewed for a very good reason. Well, that was the face products, so let's go ahead and move on to, I guess, cheek products. Now, as far as cheeks go, again, similar to my skin, I love to go for a more dewy, glowy look. The first one I want to mention is Canmake. These are the cream cheeks, and these are more a bit of a gel consistency. These tiny little things go a long way. They're super pigmented and they have so many different colors. As you can see, I have very unique colors here. This one's in CL08 and this one's in 17. They go on the skin very translucently, so they're definitely buildable on the skin. So if you like something that's very pigmented, you can definitely build it up to that color. But if you like more of a wash of color, these will definitely work, as that you just have to apply them a little bit more light-handedly. Definitely check these ones out from Canmake. This cheek product has to be my most used cheek product of 2020. And it's from Unny. This is the Focus Multifunction Blush, and I have the shade Pale Pink. This reminds me of Posy from MAC, which used to be my favorite cheek color because it just fit my skin tone so nicely and gave me a very natural flush. And because it was a fairly neutral color, I felt like it looked good with a lot of different eye looks. So I didn't have to think too much about my cheek color. And because it is a cream texture, it goes on the skin really seamlessly and blends really nicely and gives me a glow. This is one of those products I have to force myself to use other cheek products because I use this one too much and I have to try out different makeup products, but I love this one. On a similar vein, these are cheek products that I also have to tell myself not to use because I need to try other products, and they're from Clio. These are the Prism Air blushers. I got two different colors here. I have City Coral, which is a super shimmery and glowy peachy color. It has like gold undertones to it. And then I have Muted Pink, which this one's a little bit of a softer, more toned down color if you're looking for something a little bit more neutral. These are like high-end quality blushes, and I want to get more of these. That's how much I like them. Now my highlighter and bronzer, again, I just like cream products. So the highlighter that I've loved for 2020 is this one from Jenny House. This is the Jewel Fit highlighter, and it's in a sponge tip format, so you just spot a couple dots onto your skin and then blend it out. And my first experience with Jenny House, I'm not gonna lie, was maybe not the best, but this was a standout product from the get-go. When I first tried this, I was like, oh, this is really nice. It's seamless, it blends really nicely. You can't even really see where your highlighter starts and your cheek color begins. And this one is a little bit more of a wetter type of liquid highlighter, so you have more work time with it. Speaking of contour products that are more on the liquid side of things, this has been the contour that I've been loving in 2020. This is from Biba. This is the Last Contouring. I use the shade 02, and this actually shows up on my skin, which is really nice and sometimes hard for me to find when it comes to cream cosmetics. But I like this because the formatting of it is really easy. It's essentially just like a little concealer, and I can be really precise with where I want to apply it, and then I can blend it outward from there so I don't get like too much of a muddied look on my face. This one I can actually contour my face with. So I'll use this on like the sides of my nose to give more of a chiseled look, and also on the sides of my face to kind of bring everything in. We are finally on to our last category as far as my makeup favorites go, lip products. Lip products have kind of been thrown to the wayside because a lot of us are wearing masks, but I still like to wear something on my lips because I have very dry lips. So if I'm gonna wear something on my lips, I like to get a little color with it. And even if I'm just around the house, these are the products that I like to wear. All of the products I have are more watery or designed with moisture in mind. I really haven't been wearing a ton of super matte type of lip products this year because I just haven't needed to. Now the first lip product I have a ton of these because I like them so much, are the Innisfree My Lip Balms. Now the reason that I like these is because they are a semi-velvety type of lip balm, so they're not overly slick on the lips, so you don't have that like wet feeling, but they're also not overly matte, of course, and they do have a little bit of color, but since these are more like a lip treatment, they actually moisturize your lips. So it gives you beautiful color, beautiful soft color, but also keeps your moisture intact. And like I said, I pretty much have like all the colors or a lot of the colors, so I can basically pick one for whatever look I'm going for. Nomad has been having a moment in 2020, especially with their lip products, because they make really good lip products. And my favorite formulations of Nomad lip products are these two here, the Lasting Water Tint and also the Juicy Lasting Tint. So as the name implies, both of these go on somewhat wet and they have moisture to them, and as they fade off your lips over time, it does leave a little bit of color behind. The tint in these doesn't get like stuck in the crack of your lips. If you have dry lips, you know what I'm talking about. Whenever I wear these in videos, I always get comments like, what's on your lips? And along the same vein, these are pretty similar in formula. It's from Eglips. Now these are the water glaze, and I basically like these for the same reason. They go on nice, they smell like peachos, and as they fade, they tint your lips, but don't leave yucky tint left over. So if you're looking for maybe different brands that make these water tints that are really nice, I really like the Eglips ones. Alright, you guys, so that was a pretty long list of makeup favorites for 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to go ahead and leave links down in the description box below if you're curious about any of these products specifically. And as always, I hope you guys are happy and healthy, and don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, share with your friends and family, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!